I'm here with Leonor Stjepic, who is the Chief Exec of RAFT, and we're here at Cass Business School as they're hosting an event on the 24th of September around getting more women onto charitable boards. So Leonor, tell me a little bit about your career in the charitable sector.
Okay, well I have spent the last 15 years as a professional in the charity sector, but before that I spent about 15 years working as a volunteer in the charity sector. So I've seen both sides, voluntary and professional.
And what's your view on getting more women into senior positions within the charitable sector?
I think it's quite interesting that there are a number of women who work in the charity sector, and it's almost seen as a sort of female industry, and yet as the research shows, there are very few women at the top in the charity sector. And so it's not about getting women into the charity sector, it's about finding a way of encouraging women to take on these senior roles.
And what would you say the barriers are to encouraging these women to take on these senior roles?
I think they are, many of them are barriers that are common to any woman taking on a senior role, in terms of time commitment, in terms of sometimes feeling not confident about going for these senior roles, and this is an issue that's been discussed elsewhere. I think there's also an issue around sort of the percentage of women on charity boards, because in the charity sector, even more than in the commercial sector, the board takes a very active interest in recruiting the chief executive, and sometimes to the point that they don't use headhunters, they do it all themselves. And if you've got a board who are all men, they tend to sort of want to appoint someone who not consciously, but someone who's a man because it's just more familiar to them. So I think there is an issue around sort of female leadership on boards as well as female leadership in the charity sector.
And would you say the issues are similar within the charitable sector compared to the private sector, or are they very different?
I think there are similar issues. I think there are some issues which are slightly different in the sense that women in the charity sector probably are not given the credibility that women in the commercial sector are. And so it's very difficult for women to come into the charity from the commercial sector because they somehow feel that it's a step down. I've had that said to me. But I also think that a lot of the issues that we face are issues in common.
Okay. And if there was one piece of advice you'd give to women that were wanting to progress their career within the charitable sector, what would that be?
Only one.
Just one?
Just one. I would say that don't be afraid to go for it, but look around and see if there's a way you can do it in a supported way rather than try and do it on your own.
Thank you, Leonor.
You're welcome.